Hey guys, welcome to a emergency episode of the 2-Bit Talks. With me again today is Mr. Jonathan.
What's up, guys?
Hey Jonathan, have you checked out episode 8's new trailer?
Yeah, I have seen the trailer, and I gotta say, it's flipping amazing. What did you think?
It's the same as Force Awakens for me. I saw some things, and I'm intrigued by some of the stuff I saw. Other parts of it, I'm just kind of putting my nails into the sofa and just kind of going, oh god, I hope they don't ruin this for me. Like, I'm worried. There was some certain scenes I saw in here that I just I don't know.
What was most worrisome for you? Was it the Porg?
No, it was I'm worried they're going to make Luke look very weak.
Uh-huh.
And that would piss me off to no end.
What do you mean, like, he's pretty much the same power level he was at Return of the Jedi, or?
Well, that, and then also just the fact, like, do we just want to talk about our general thoughts, or would you like for us to, like, break this down piece by piece?
Well, just give your general thoughts and overview. That's fine.
Well, my general thoughts and overview are, you know, they're of course going the Empire Strikes Back route. You could definitely tell when they have the walkers marching towards a base.
That is kind of hothy.
Yeah, it's very hothy, and it's just kind of like, it's just like, it's gonna be like Force Awakens. It's gonna be like, hey, you know, Force Awakens was, hey, do you remember 1977 with the Star Wars? And then we're gonna be here with what was it, 1980, wasn't it, that Empire Strikes Back came out?
Something like that.
It was like 80 or 81 or something like that. Pretty much it's gonna be, hey, do you remember the early 80s with Empire Strikes Back? You know, that's how I feel like The Last Jedi is going to be, is just a romp down, memory lane with, or nostalgia lane with
You've always accused J.J. Abrams of that, and this guy, episode 8 is being directed by Rian Johnson or whatever, so you can't blame it on the director this time.
Well, I don't know if I could blame, like, it's not so much that the director, it's just that from what I remember, JJ, I might as well call him AJ Abrams. But no, from what I remember, Mr. Abrams, he has his hand all over the writing for this series, doesn't he? If I remember correctly, or am I wrong on that?
He's most likely a producer.
Which is another thing we didn't talk about, was the fact that he's taking over the next film after this one. Like, they let go of the director they had, creative differences, and now we get to see J.J. Abrams do what he doesn't do best, and that's try to close a story, and he sucks at it. Yeah. Look at Lost or Star Trek.
That's one. J.J. Abrams. I don't know, man. I liked. I don't know what to say about J.J. Abrams. I want to focus on this trailer, though.
Yeah. I wanted to get that out because I didn't say it. But back to the trailer, yeah, it's feeling very Empire Strikes Back-esque. But there are some interesting things that are going on in it. Nobody
has been frozen in carbonite. I guess you could say that...
maybe they do it to Luke. Because there's a scene in the trailer with Luke down on the ground, rain pouring on him, and what was it he said? This won't end up the way you think it's going to, or something.
Now, I absolutely think that part of the trailer is a flashback to when Kylo Ren overthrew the new Jedi.
Okay.
I think that's probably what that is in reference to when he's talking to Kylo Ren at that point about it's not going to end how Kylo thinks it's going to end.
Yeah.
I think the trailer... I think the director was right in telling people that if they didn't want spoilers to avoid the trailer at all costs, because it really does reveal a lot of the story. There's a lot of Luke, which I really like. There's a lot of Kylo Ren without his mask on, and there's a lot of Snoke. There's Snoke in live action. Actually, there's a couple scenes where Snoke is actually in the flesh, in the same room as Rey. and Snoke actually starts the voiceover talking to either Kylo Ren or Rey. We're not sure at this point about how he sensed great power and also something more special. So
Yeah,
there's a lot more of
and
the characters that we didn't get to see in the last movie.
Luke, something I don't think we've seen in a Star Wars movie. At least I don't think. I mean, I've seen it. We've seen it in the books, comic books, the video games, and I believe even possibly the TV shows. But Rey cracks the rock. Like Luke's standing behind her in the trailer, like I guess helping her train, and she's like, it's like that scene where she touches her hand and the rocks, little pebbles go up. I guess she cracks the entire rock. And Luke says something like, I've seen this type of raw power before. Back then it
Right.
didn't scare me, or back then I didn't fear it, but I do now, or something is what he says.
Right.
And
Right.
they show the Jedi Temple or his Jedi Academy in flames, and then his fist, hand coming up out of the wreckage, which worries me. I'm worried that they're going to make Luke look weak. Like he's like a Obi-Wan, not that Obi-Wan Kenobi was weak, but you know what I mean, like how easily Obi-Wan Kenobi was, he kind of let himself be killed by Darth Vader, but you know what I mean, like Luke was always on, if I remember correctly, again, a lot of this isn't canon anymore, but Luke was a very powerful Jedi, and that's what I'm worried about them just kind of
Well, I mean, if
pushing
it
that
makes you feel
aside
any,
for the sake of putting over their characters.
yeah,
Rey's the tough one,
yeah.
kind of thing.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, there was a lot of stories about Luke and how badass he was during the filming of this movie. One of them has a scene apparently where Luke Skywalker single-handedly defeats most of Ren's knights unarmed. So
Okay.
during the fight scene or during the part where Kylo Ren tries to take over the Jedi or kill the Jedi or whatever, all the people that sided with him apparently get their ass handed to them by Luke with, unarmed. So it makes you wonder if Kylo Ren did have a group of people with him. They weren't in Force Awakens, and
Wait.
they're not being featured in this movie. So something happened to them.
Yeah, wait, do you think when Luke says, I've seen this type of raw power before, back then I didn't fear it, but I do now, do you think
Mhm.
that was Luke, possibly? The destruction around the temple was him using his powers? And
I hope so.
that's why he went to Hermitage and he's like, screw this power is too dangerous.
Maybe he's the one that killed the rest of the Jedi, not Kylo Ren.
Yeah, something like that. That would be interesting. An interesting take. Like I said, I don't mind Rey being very powerful too. It's just
Right.
that I'm worried that we're going to. I was worried from seeing this trailer that we're going to have Luke just be, oh, I'm just an old man, and here's some tricks I can teach you with the Force, but then you go off and fight people. I'm
Yeah.
worried he's going to be like a Yoda, just hobbling around. Though in the prequels, you saw how badass Yoda was. So
Right.
I'm just worried. That's my only worry about that. The other thing that interested me was the tease, because you follow this whole trailer, and there's two things going on. There's Kylo with his mentor, Snoke,
Yep.
and then there's Rey with Luke, her mentor,
Right.
and they're being trained by these mentors. And then, by the end of the trailer, Rey says something like, I don't know my place in all of this. I need someone to help me, or something like that. And it seems like she's talking to Luke. And then they cut to Kylo Ren, and he puts his hand out,
Right.
and all of that. And it kind of makes me think, you're looking at both of these characters in this trailer, and they're both having, like, problems with their masters. They're like going, this isn't turning out the way I thought it would, or something like that. So do you think maybe at the end of this we have Rey and Kylo go, hey, Jedi and Sith, those aren't the way. Let's find a middle ground. Let's find the gray. Are they
Yeah.
finally going to put in movie form were they just called the gray, the Jedi who were kind of in the middle? There was no, it wasn't Jedi Sith. It was more like kind of the will of the Force. Qui-Gon, Qui-Gon's
It's
view of the
it's
Force.
possible, especially if they used flashbacks to set up Kylo Ren as more of a victim. Like, yeah, he might have tried to overthrow the Jedi or whatever, but it might have been Luke ultimately that caused the destruction.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I like that scene where they were possibly a team up might happen. I guess Chewbacca is going to be the one to get frozen in carbonite, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that, and I don't know. I really don't know how Chewbacca is going to, what's the term, square that circle? Or is it, yeah, square that circle with Ben Solo. Like, how does Ben come to the light and hang out with Chewbacca? I mean,
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
he killed Han, so it's just kind of
That's
like...
true. I guess that does kind of move Kylo Ren past redemption in most people's eyes because he did kill Han Solo, his own father.
Yeah.
And there's that whole setup where he's trying to kill his mother, or at least it made it look like it in that space battle.
By the way, I called that. Remember? We've discussed this before, and what did I say when we were talking about the Uncanny Valley Leia? I said after, Carrie Fisher's passing, I would like for them to, lay her character to rest, and I said have her go out in a heroic blaze of glory on a ship or something against the First Order. And here, lo and behold, in this trailer now, we don't know everything about this, so I mean it could just be her just on a ship hanging out and Kylo Ren blowing up another ship, but it's quite possible that Kylo Ren could kill his mother Leia, and that's how we do it, a heroic end to Leia Organa Solo.
I think Leia is rumored to come face to face with Snoke at some point during this movie, so I wouldn't bet on that too heavily. But
you can still have the face to face, but at the last big battle, or maybe you're right. Maybe she comes face to face with Snoke and he kills her or something like that.
Maybe. I know that that scar on Kylo's face, and he sort of has a bandage type situation going on.
Yeah.
And it sort of fades by the end of the trailer, so it's hard to place the time, or at least you can use the scar to sort of guess the timeline. But I wouldn't rely too much on that either. But there were some pretty cool scenes. I liked some of the direction they're going, and I just thought it was I thought all in all it totally got me psyched up for the movie.
Oh yeah, it definitely got me. I'm psyched. I'm ready for December already. Let's screw November. I love Thanksgiving, but I'm going to be like, okay, let's hurry this up. We got to watch that movie.
I'll tell you what, I watched the newest Justice League trailer last week too, and it was totally underwhelming compared to this one.
Yeah. Well, are they competing? Are they going head to head with Star Wars, or is this next year?
I don't know when Justice League's coming out. I know December 15th Star Wars comes out, so I think Justice League is probably a little bit later or something.
We haven't really talked about Snoke, really. What are your opinions on him now in the flesh?
I didn't, they did maybe a close up, and then there's that scene where Rey's bent over backwards. Looks like she's being manipulated with the Force somehow, and Snoke is obviously in the background of that shot. So at some point she is going to come face to face with him. At least it would appear to be that way. And I don't know, man. He looks good. I mean, he looks better than General Moff or Grand Moff Tarkin in Rogue One. So yeah, I think he looks well done, at least from the little snippets that I've seen. I'm excited to find out, what his real origin story is.
Again, I'm stoked for the movie, but also very nervous. They showed a lot of cool stuff. I'm interested to see where they go with the series. Do you feel the same, Jonathan?
Yeah, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to catch up with my old friends on the Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Or, as my daughter says, Store Whores.
Store Whores.
Yeah, Store Whores. Let's watch some Store Whores. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this emergency episode of the 2-Bit Talks. Please let us know in the comment section below what you guys saw of the trailer, and if you guys have any crazy theories out there. Jonathan, they can hit us up on Twitter, right?
That's right, at 2BitJesus, and follow us on Facebook as well.
Yes, on Facebook, and that's just facebook.com/2BitJesus. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, what do they do, Jonathan?
They need to stay safe and freaking play on, man.
All right. Have a good one, guys.